Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. Today I get to share with you a brand new die set from the upcoming release on January 3rd for 2023. It's a mini paper lantern. This die set allows you to create a really fun decor piece, a little decorative mini lantern. So we're going to take the largest die and cut that from some lightweight cardstock. This is going to bend a little bit, and so we want to use lighter weight, not heavyweight cardstock. I also like to kind of burnish it over the edge of the table to help start encouraging this piece to curve. So that's what I'm doing here plenty of times. And again, I used a very lightweight piece of cardstock. Next, we need one of these base pieces. We're going to die cut that from some pattern paper in my stash. And there is a scored line on this piece, but you don't want to fold on the scored line. It's more of a guide. I am also encouraging this piece to curve as well. Now there's a straight skinny die. I need two of those for the lantern, and I used black glitter cardstock for that. So I'm also taking my crease tool and just telling this little piece I want it to curve in the middle, and then I'm going to fold back on these scored lines. Now one end has holes pierced through it and the other does not, and I'll talk to you about those in just a second. I'm putting some double-sided adhesive across the top and the bottom of that base piece, but not going past the scored line. And then I'll adhere the top and then the bottom. So here's where you want to be patient and ginger with this and allow the paper to curve out. Now, if you used a really heavyweight cardstock, there might become some like creases in the lantern part, and we don't want that. We want it to curve. So now I'm just using my crease tool to really burnish that paper into that adhesive so it doesn't pop off. All right, so now if we want to use the holes in this die, you can use it to create a hanger for the lantern. You could use it to hang the tassel. So what I want to do now is use a piercer to poke through that top layer into the base layer so the holes go all the way through. Now I'm going to choose to use those to create a hanger for mine, but you could also use that skinny strip to be a hanger for your lantern. So really there's some choices here on design after this point. Okay, so I added double-sided adhesive and a little bit of liquid glue from my crafty glue friend to adhere this together. I want it to hold really well. So I'm just holding that, piercing it down, pinching it down, I mean. And then you have really the base of your lantern. And like I said, there's some choices after this. I have some like embroidery string, and I'm using that to be my hanger. It's gonna work really well on this needle that I would normally use for like stitching on cards, and that's pretty much the only stitching I do, a little bit on felt, and I use this for that as well. And I'm just gonna make 2 loops on either side, and then I'll just tie this off at the end. Then I can take those 2 loops and tie them together to kind of create a hanger. Really, like I said, you can do whatever you want here. You could use just 2 of the holes and have 1 loop, and that could be your hanger. I'm going to tuck those in for now because I need to add my strips around the top. So I did the string first so I could cover up the knots of the string and with these little strips here. So I'm going to use double-sided adhesive and a little bit of liquid glue on these. They're glitter paper and I feel like they're kind of thicker, so they might tend to pop out a little bit. I'm also going to cover up the seam with this strip just to kind of reinforce it so the lantern's less likely to like pop open, if that makes sense. So just wrap that all the way around, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing on the bottom. So that's why you need 2 of these strips. So I'm just wrapping it around, covering up the seam, and then it just helps it be a little bit stronger. All right, so there's my lantern. It's looking so cute. Now I'm going to show you something I like to do for the bottom of this lantern. Take one of the skinny strips, die cut it from some cardstock, and then cut it in half. Take those 2 pieces and create a little cross. Pierce a hole in the center. That's where I'm going to hang my tassel from. Just center this over the bottom of your lantern and fold over the excess pieces. Those are the pieces you're going to use to adhere this. Now, I could have adhered this down and done this before I put that strip across the bottom, and then I could glue those to the outside of the lantern. So hindsight. All right, I die cut the 3 pieces that are for the tassel, and on this particular tassel, the bottom of the tassel is not cut away. So the strands of your tassel are not going to be free and loose. If you want yours free and loose, you can just cut that off with a little paper cutter. Now I'm rolling up the tassel, so I just use some double-sided adhesive on the inside, and then every so often a little bit of liquid glue. And I really like good adhesion, so that's why I tend to use some of both. Okay, so now we have this tiny little strip right here. This is what I'm going to use to be like the hanger for my tassel. So I just put a little bit of my crafty glue friend on each end, and then I'm just going to pinch it and hold it in place as it kind of straddles the top of the tassel. Once that's dry, then I can take this cute little piece that has a scalloped edge, and that I'm going to wrap around the tassel to give it a nice complete look. Now you could do the same color on this and that would give it more of like a seamless look, but I just liked the addition of black glitter paper. I love pink and black together. It's kind of fancy. So I'm going to hold that in place and let it dry. Now I tried to poof this up a little bit. It got a little bent, so I decided to just leave it. And then I'm adding the flower. There's a little flower die in the set as well, a little cherry blossom, I think it is. Yeah. And then I added a pink gem right to the center. Now I am stringing the string for a piece of string through the top of my tassel, and then stringing that through this little cross piece that I made. I'm double knotting it and snipping off the excess, and now I can attach this to the bottom of my lantern. So what I did is I put a glue dot on the outside of these little prongs that I made. Now remember, you could put this on the outside of the lantern and then put your strip that goes all the way around the bottom of the lantern, that black glitter strip, and it would help hold it down. But I thought of this after. I mean, I just didn't think of that in time. So yeah, so here's my hanging lantern with tassel. So cute. And they're really easy to make. They don't even take a lot of paper. I have a battery operated tea light, and that can sit inside the lantern on this little piece that I made for my tassel to hang from. So it's just really cute. So I did take those 2 top strings and tie them together eventually. So I had my Christmas tree still up when I made this video, so I went ahead and hung it on there just to show you. It's not meant to be an ornament, not saying it couldn't be, but really these would just be fun to hang up for like a party, maybe make a few and hang them like around the patio. That would be really cute. So there is my paper lantern, and just a really quick video to show you how to use this die set. You might open it and wonder, how do I put this together? And now you know. So stay tuned the rest of this week for more sneak peeks, and this release will hit the shop on January 3rd, 2023. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.